Okay, there's something in my hair. I didn't know until just now, but I was like, I'm gonna forget what I had to say before, so I need to go ahead and say it. So, I'm watching a video on YouTube about the Border Collie, and I'm about to come out of my skin because I am probably one of the most laid backest people, and my dogs are just as happy as they can be. I mean, there's a couple places they can get out, but they don't. So it's not. I think the Border Collie, I think the Border Collie gets so frustrated because people are not paying attention to what they're trying to tell them. So they get frustrated and they go to something that's easy, and that's activity. Doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to run and jump and stuff like that. I mean, that's what they're designed to do. He's just mentioned a couple of things that just I'd like to kind of set clear that you're wrong. And the reason I said it that loud is because usually anytime a negative connotation word or whatever is mentioned, usually it gets people's attention a lot quicker than a positive, doesn't it? So here's the thing. Border Collies are in thought processes so far ahead of the human race, it's embarrassing. And I've said this several times and I still believe it. I might change my mind in 20 minutes. But as of right now, these dogs, that they think so much better. They're when they do their little schemes to get things done, they're kinder. My dogs figured out a way to separate two puppies so that they would be the only four in line with the way my camera was aimed. He did this. Guided them over to the woods, pretended to be smelling something, jumped back and went to the end. The other one came up forward. Blew my mind. But I had to watch that video several times to get all that. Maybe I'm just behind, but they don't require the activity. My dogs probably sleep most of the day. And I don't know why they stay here. I really don't, because I hardly ever go out there. But see, the thing is, it's not the amount of time that you spend with your Border Collie. It's the time that you spend with your Border Collie. Because, well, me, I don't know. But, yeah. My dogs can sit right here on the floor and we just have the best time. Except for when I got to clean up the dog hair. So I got black carpets. But my male dog is like mostly white. White here. I need to go get a hairbrush. Hairbrush. I'm trying to remember what was mentioned that they don't have to have a job. They want to have a job. There's a difference. Because here's the thing. Here's where Border Collies get frustrated. Okay? You get this dog because you want it to herd and protect, and yet you keep it beside your leg. That dog cannot herd and protect at your leg. These dogs, and I let mine do this when we go somewhere new. I mean, my dogs, they want to survey the area. Check for stuff. I know I mentioned this in several videos, but it's very important that people understand that they already know what to do. So when people don't pay attention and give them an opportunity to show you a better way to do something, Let them show you, and you'll see that it is so far ahead. But anyway, let's see. I don't really want to do play because I don't want to like. But most of these things say the same thing. The stare, I agree with that, but it's not really a stare. It's a, my dogs move their eyes in the direction I need to look. That's pretty smart. But they don't leave them like that. They look back at me and then do that, and so that's pretty smart, and that's the way I should have looked, based on whatever happened or whatever. But I just had to come on here and just say, just a couple of things. My dogs do everything on their own. They don't have to be trained. I've already mentioned leashes and stuff. I think leashes and crates and commands and demands. And when you have a dog, the whole time you're with the dog, you're telling it what to do. Do this, do that, do this over here. No, you can't crap here. No. And really, I don't believe in training. I don't believe in leashes, because if your dog respects you, here's what my dogs do. And I hate to repeat, but I just think the whole leash thing is just it's a selfish cop out, and you don't trust your dog, and the dog doesn't trust you, or the dog doesn't respect you. If your dog respects you, he'll not crap in your house. But then people are like, well, they get in the trash. Yes, they get in the trash because they're eating the food that was in it, that shouldn't have been in it, or it would have attracted other stuff. I wonder if you just bury it somewhere, like way deep, and put something like I don't know, but anyway, or give it to them. But gosh, I wish I could fast forward. Oh, I can pause. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, I just listened to the people have no idea how intelligent the Border Collie is. No idea. Opening doors, fetching, jumping through hoops, stuff that society has placed on the Border Collie as a way to show its intelligence. That's not it. Okay, here's a quick story. We're going to the river. Okay, at the time there were 5. I think I had 5 or 6 with me, something. So we're going to the river, and 2 dogs came running out at us barking. The big dog and little dog. And my male, he was probably 8 or 9, 10 months old, something like that. He's no fear. He went flying by me and went right up to those dogs. But here's what happened. They stopped. They had some kind of discussion. I had no idea. my little funny thing, I think, is because he probably said, well, I can whoop your ass here, now, or later. Anyway. But, and then they went back to the house, and he came trotting back out to the road. There was no fussing, no fighting, just like, hey, blah, 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 and he came right back out. Blew my mind, okay? So, on the way back, okay, these 4 dogs, there's 4, well, Panda died, so there's 3 now, but thinking maybe I'm part of the core 4 now. Okay, but anyway, we're coming back from the river, and my dogs took off running. And I was like, y'all are going to get me in trouble, because I was like, because, you know, right up there is I was going to get in trouble and blah, blah, blah. And those, anyway, so my dogs took off running. I was fussing. And probably about the length of a single wide trailer. No, maybe two single wide trailers. About that length, they took off running and they stopped. These dogs knew that they were taking a chance on making me angry for looking out for me. They took off running to get to that point where those dogs came out at us in time enough to make sure everything's okay by the time I walked and caught up. That's brilliant. They knew when to take off to be far enough ahead to have time to check out the area by the time I walked up there fussing. That's to me, that's a little bit further than fetching a ball and catching a frisbee and opening a door. Dogs use, Border Collies, mine anyway, they use objects as tools. And when people don't pay attention to what they're trying to tell them, they get frustrated. And that's when the shoes get chewed. They use shoes because they know that it's one of a pair. And they know that you're going to go hunt that other shoe. Most people are going to pick it up, knock it over his head, you know. But that dog, when you see a shoe separated, stand up and look around and pay attention to what's going on around you. Because that dog used that shoe to put you in that place. I have stories, and hopefully I'll quit like repeating the same ones. I think I might put them on my chalkboard. But they are so far beyond. And see, they thought about that now. Okay, they thought about that all the way down to the river, and we came back. But see, what's miraculous is there's a video. I hope I get it on here. The video that I did, that don't even pay attention to what I'm saying in there, except for what we were talking about before it, was like I was talking about my core four, and you know, they pair up, and you know how they work together. I had no clue. Okay, so we're walking along, and 2 grown-ups and 2 puppies were in front, and 2 grown-up dogs were behind me. Well, I stopped and turned to where I was facing the 2 females, and the others so the other ones had to turn around and come back. And I was talking about, you know, in a row and blah, 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 and how they do this and do that. Well, now here's what happened. The 2 grown-ups, the male came in and went, everybody was walking. They were just the 2 females back here never moved. They stayed right where they were. The female came in, and they went and they walked the puppies, and there were 2 puppies. They walked them in between the 2 females. And one of the puppies kind of went off to the left, and one kind of went off to the right. So the female laid at a perfect angle that just kind of guided that puppy right on up to where the other puppy was going to be, because the male was getting him over. So the female stayed where she was. So he went over and had the puppies. He was pretending to be smelling something. These dogs are just, and they thought of this quick now, that fast. So he was pretending to be sniffing something, which would get the puppies over there really interested in what he was sniffing. Long enough for him to jump up now, jumps up, runs to the end of the line that I'm videoing, paired up with one of the others, with Pixie, I think. And then Panda, the one that came in and was laying at an angle, stood up and walked about 5 or 6 steps and was in line. Blew my mind. It took me a long time to not only they lay and they got in line, I never moved. I was videoing this one place, and all 4 of them lined up where they were in the view of the camera. And they were paired up. It was just it's just miraculous. And, you know, if I'm able to toot my horn a little bit, you know, it's kind of I think it's a talent that I have that might keep a lot of dogs from getting into so much trouble. I'm not a whisperer. I'm going to come up with a song, maybe, that says what I am and stuff. But I had to come on here. I've had a lazy day. But the thing is, my dogs, they don't require a whole lot of they don't. They probably sleep most of the day. They're just like, and so when I go out, see, it's not the amount of time. I already said this earlier. It's not the amount of time that you spend with them. It's the time that you spend with them that's important. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to where they put things. They use poop as tools. My dogs will use poop as tools. I finally figured out that it's kind of, they'll like poop in a certain area because they know that if I don't know why, but I finally figured out that they're trying to block off that area. They want me in a different part of the yard. I think that's what they're doing. But just pay attention to, and anybody that, if you see something that a dog does that's wrong by people's standards, I really wish that somebody would message me or ask me, because I will probably give you a story, probably. Well, anyway, I'll probably have a story, you know, that goes with either that, or, you know, just tell me what the dog is doing. Tell me, you know, what's going on around the dog when the dog is doing what it's doing. Is it doing it to any particular person, any particular place, any particular time? Dogs, if a dog respects you, he will not in your house. He will not crap in your house if your dog respects you. And that's what it's all about. It's about respect. It's not love. These dogs don't love you. Well, I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. My dog, it's not a love. It's a respect thing. We have to live together. You know, but we have to be fair, because they deserve the respect that we expect of them. And the leashes, I think leashes are a lazy cop out, and to not be held responsible for what your dog does. Because if I come up somewhere and there's the dog on a leash here and it's doing this, and then there's a dog over here that's just frolicking around, you know, that one on the leash is the one that worries me. That dog should be at home or turn loose. Because that dog is probably, they're so frustrated. These dogs are so frustrated because I don't think that it's necessarily that they're smarter than other dogs. I think it's that they have so many sometimes when I'm talking, I'll just stop. And I've just accepted the fact that maybe that's just because I was supposed to stop. But you know what? I don't know that it
Border
really...
Collies are eager to please. Regardless if they're working or playing, this breed will do its best to get your attention and affection. They are eager to please, which makes training fun and easy. Therefore, after they've done something
I hate
good,
the word train.
Reward them with pats and praises.
I hate commands, demands.
Border Collies will also do amazing stunts and tricks to get an impressive
stunts and tricks. Okay, see that.
Border Collies tend to be independent. Although they are easy to train, Border Collies also tend to be strong-willed and independent. In addition, when there's no job
Border Collies are not like that naturally. If people would leave them alone, actually, if I, this is funny. I think if you could just get in touch with your subconscious mind, if you are willing to, slow down and quit, people need to stop. I think people should stop. I would like to see people stop trying to solve dog problems with people solutions. That's my thing. The people solutions don't work. I don't think I think the other breeds are probably, right on up there as far as smartness and stuff. They're just not as willing to communicate. They just won't do it. They're probably, the Labrador's probably sitting there talking about, I wonder how much longer I should take before I can. How many times can I go crap in that one spot and get away with it? I mean, they're so mean. And that's so funny to me. Dogs are just, they're so much smarter than we are. And we think we're better. So we have to control it and confine it in order to make it behave correctly. Whereas we're the ones that are messing up. Why do you think we fight? Well, I mean, I don't think. But, if you look at, I remember somebody wrote this a long time ago. It wasn't me. But he said, only in humanity is there chaos. And that's probably, dang, I mean, it didn't really hit me until, like, really, really big time. It's always been one of my favorites, but I need to go get a hairbrush. Hairbrush. But, again, I think the reason Border Collies go to activity is because it doesn't require a whole lot of brain power. And here's why they want to save their brain power or whatever. Or they run out. They're just like, these people are not paying attention to what we're trying to tell them. And when I finally figure out like a scenario and they plan stuff out, I mean, it's just amazing that I don't know what stories I think what I'm gonna have to do is, okay, this could be, all right, hold on. But I just think that that's why they go to activity, because activity is easier, because it doesn't require a lot of brain power, not like what I do. I remember one time I asked some people, I said, you want to do a little experiment? I just want to see what happens. And that's kind of the attitude just that you can have with them. Just say, I wonder what's going to happen. Just pay attention. If you're talking to somebody, pay attention to what your Border Collie's doing while you're talking to this person or whatever, people. Pay attention to what your dog's doing. You will be, if people would pay attention, that's all you got to do is just watch them. You don't have to command and demand and train and, this and the leashes and the crates. That, oh my God, don't even really. Never use food as a tool to do anything with the dog other than feed it and give it for nutrition. I don't think that we should use food for purposes of punishment. You shouldn't use food for okay, this is the best way I've found for feeding. Okay, get one of those metal containers, get them at Tractor Supply. It's got the metal, or Amazon has them. It's got the magnet door. You open it up, you pour some dog food in there, you put some diatomaceous earth, pour some more dog food, some diatomaceous earth, and just fill it up. A quality dry dog food. Okay, I use Diamond Naturals All Life Stages because I can feed it to the puppies. So I've looked at the thing and it's got like just enough calcium and all the stuff that puppies and grown dogs need. But and whatever is extra, they'll just do the same thing we do. But um, 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 um. I really should be listening to some music while I'm doing this, but no. And this is BCs&Me, so this is the me part, and I've decided I'm gonna have to do the me part away from the dogs because I keep seeing stuff that they're doing, and here's something that just happened last night. I think no, night before last. I went out there one morning and there was a pizza box. I left the pizza box, and somehow or another they got it and they tore it all in pieces. The puppies did. They tore it all in pieces. And they had toys out there too, things that I'd given them. They like empty water bottles, it's like an empty milk jug or something out there. But anyway, I just walked around. I was like, picking up the little pieces of like paper cardboard, but not the toys. I left the toys. I just picked. And listen to this. This is what happened. I got all the pieces up like that. The next day, it was so funny. I went out there and under the swing was a bunch of little chewed up pieces of stuff, like what I picked up. So whatever they still had to chew up, I guess they brought it over there and put it underneath that swing. That was so funny. But it's not so funny right now because they got one of my cushions that was already. See, that's another story. That was when Panda was still here. But anyway, I just want to say, a couple things like that. And the big misconception on I think a leash law is the silliest, most selfish cop out thing that it blows my mind. You are putting a leash on your friend, right? If your dog respects you, see, when I go somewhere, I want my dogs to case the place out, and they do it. I don't do anything. I don't command, demand, train. No, I don't do all that stuff. They do it. I just do my own thing. It's almost like they're helping. It's almost like they're helping me be a better me. But I'm stubborn. Even with myself, I'm stubborn. I don't even want to. I keep doing the same shit over and over and over stuff. But it's the energy thing is a very big misconception. Like I said earlier, my dogs, they probably sleep most of the day. Shoot, I love having days where I can sleep all day. That's just like, because when you're sleeping, you're still being entertained. Your brain is working just as hard when you're asleep as it is when you're awake. Maybe harder.
And he becomes bored. This breed will chase other moving creatures, such as children and animals, or even cars. To become a well-rounded dog, early
training is next.